Hi, my name's Phil.
My name is Rob.
And we've been mates for years. We've done loads of stuff together.
All of which, mainly, have turned into chaos.
But someone then suggested, why don't you do a podcast? That seemed like a good idea, didn't it?
Really did.
Then we realised neither of us have ever done one of those. So is this going to work?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Welcome to Two Pastors in a Pod. So another podcast.
Yes.
And we're not on our own.
This is a first.
This is a very first.
Do you know why this is a first?
Because it's being done at night when it's very dark out there.
It's night time.
Yep.
You look like you're dressed for the summer, but it's actually freezing outside because you forgot your shirt. But that's another story. Another first.
What's that?
Is the fact that you ain't prepped for this one.
Well,
Normally, I don't do any prep whatsoever.
Yeah, we know.
I just wing it, but we're both actually winging it tonight, Derek.
So, we've got a visitor, but we've had someone from Wales, we've had someone from Scotland, we've had someone from Ireland, we've had a number of English individuals.
We're very inclusive.
We are hugely inclusive.
Very inclusive.
And now Derek's with us.
Derek,
where are you from?
I am from the United States, specifically south in the U.S., called Mississippi.
Called Mississippi.
Mississippi, the state of Mississippi.
Derek, can you spell Mississippi?
I can, but I'm not going to spell it the fun way. Because
this
is professional.
Is that how we sold it to?
Yeah. Clearly that was a mistake. So come on in, how do you spell Mississippi?
Mississippi.
See, PPI.
Excellent.
That's a thing.
PPI.
So,
we're not talking about PPI.
Oh no, that's a different podcast.
Yeah,
So Derek, you're here. You're here from America. Earlier today we asked Rob to find Mississippi on a map, and to be honest, he's very fortunate whether he even found America.
No, it's down there. It's down there.
What, just down the bottom there?
Apparently, because I heard today, it's 3.5 hours from the nearest beach. Which, for an American, 3.5 hours is not a big drive.
It's not a big drive. No.
In fairness, where we live is pretty distant from a beach.
Yeah.
Any beach.
Anyway.
So, Derek, you've been over here visiting. Is this your first visit to the UK?
It is not.
So you've been here, how many times do you reckon?
Probably 6 or 7.
So you're almost like a Brit. But tell us, out of all the things that you have done, what is the best thing that you found in Britain, and what is the worst thing?
So the best thing I'd probably say is you, Phil.
What?
I have to say,
did you pay him for that?
You are a man who knows.
I've got more money on me tonight than him. What about me?
You put your wedge away. A man talks sense. So, what's the best thing about Britain other than me?
Other than you. I honestly, like in Ellesmere and where I've been and helping out with the church, I really love the people. That's honestly, that's what brings me. That's
a great thing. Now, obviously on the reverse.
How many years have you been coming here now?
Should we ask that question again?
Oh, you've asked that already? I wasn't listening. Hello. 12. Yeah, but I didn't hear the answer. Do you know what? My wife.
About 6 times.
My wife says this to me all the time. I kind of switch. I shouldn't really switch.
No, you shouldn't really.
Shouldn't switch off on a podcast, should I?
So, what?
How many years you been here then?
So
about 6 times.
6 times.
So, Derek, what is the worst thing that's here? I mean, what have you eaten that's the worst, or what's the worst thing about Britain?
You know, I cannot do the beans.
What, the baked beans?
I can't. I have tried.
I thought you Americans loved beans.
See, I don't.
Yeah, but these are baked beans. They've got tomato sauce on them.
All the cowboy films that I grew up with.
See, I don't.
They always had black coffee and beans.
See, I'm not even a huge coffee fan.
But
you're not a proper American then,
I don't guess so.
If you don't like coffee, that's actually for this podcast very helpful.
Okay.
Because
is this the segue?
We have tea.
An unscripted segue. It's amazing how we did that.
Derek, I know you're one of the many thousands of subscribers to this podcast, so you know how this works. Right. So we will be drinking the tea.
Nathan's given us.
Yes, they're good, aren't they? I'm not altogether sure which one's Piglet.
Which one's Pooh, which one's Piglet.
Yeah, I can imagine. But what we're going to do, we're going to pour this tea out. Okay. Now, this has been brewing decently, this one. Okay. So we're going to pour it out.
For the change.
We want you to know, I was warned about that.
It looks like another sample. Every
no,
time.
this is not a sample.
Every time it looks like something you should take to the hospital.
Well, I tell you what, if this is your sample, you're in trouble. But what we're going to do, I want you to tell you what you think's in it,
Okay.
and then give it a kind of a mark between.
So
0
is this
and 10.
is this quintessential English tea?
No,
Isn't it? Well, I
Well,
would have
no.
thought we would have given our American guest an English tea.
but Derek's well travelled, so this will be different. There we go, guys.
How many times have you been to the UK?
Oh, stop it. There you go. Right. So,
Maybe 6.
Is it 6?
It's
Amazing.
I've got to be honest, at this rate, I'm not sure it'll be 7. So, let's have a smell of the tea, have a taste of it, boys, see what you think.
Yeah, the bouquet.
Well, that's fairly obvious, isn't it?
The bouquet. Do you know what a bouquet is?
Yes.
Flowers.
It's the smell.
Oh. Smells.
That's fairly obvious,
Smells good.
Do you know
I would have
what?
said, considering the name. Do you not like that?
It's got a bit of caramel vanilla.
No, behave as it.
Well, that's what it tastes like.
It does not.
Well, I'm getting old now. My taste buds are changing.
Clearly. Come on in, Derek. What do you think's in it? Let's start with what's in it. You think
Okay.
it's caramel.
Okay. Some water.
Oh, that's
I'm picking up-
original, that is.
I'm picking up water.
State the obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to think more of the tea.
It's
No,
going
don't
well.
do that and spit it back in.
It's going well, this podcast, isn't it?
Right, what you got?
Nathan's
Some,
try it out.
is there
with
some mint?
mint?
Interesting.
You're joking, is the mint?
What do you
I
think?
can't taste it.
So what are you tasting it, Rob? Seriously.
Caramel and vanilla, like I said before.
Right, caramel, but you think it's mint.
It has a minty.
Do you like it? Oh, good grief.
All right, okay. Is that
do-
how Americans drink tea?
Clearly. That's for a straw. So, do you like it, Derek?
I do.
You like that? What do you reckon?
You
You
don't
don't like it.
If you don't like
It's
it,
definitely
you don't-
no.
You don't have to be polite.
It's definitely got. I do think it tastes like it's got mint.
Okay, so what would you give it out of 10? 10 being great, 1 being rubbish.
I'd probably give this like a 7.
7?
Yeah.
You don't like that so much?
6.
Ooh, hello.
Well, it's only because he's been here 6 times.
Well,
You sure?
I
Did I say
reckon.
that already?
I reckon this actually is a good 7.
You reckon?
Yeah. So should I tell you what's in it?
Yeah.
This is being sold as buttermint.
Buttermint.
Hey.
Buttermint. So there's no caramel in it.
Now you've said it,
You can taste the mint.
I can connect with that. Buttermint.
See,
But
that's-
butter
Yeah.
is kind of caramel.
Well, it's butter, and it's what?
Well, a buttermilk sweet.
What butter do you use that tastes like caramel?
A butterscotch. A butterscotch sweet
There we go.
has got caramel and tastes like butterscotch.
Well, maybe that's what they were aiming for. So that one's not a bad one.
Yeah.
So we're quite happy with that.
So we are going to start this podcast.
Well, we will start it properly now, I guess. But Derek,
We've gone 7 minutes in and they've all switched off by now.
so we've now worked out how often you've been here. But let's talk about you. With all our different guests, one of the things, yes, one of the things we ask all our guests is, what were you like at school? Were you a good kid, bad kid, clever kid, not so clever kid?
It was probably half and half. I really like to talk a lot. So
Really?
No.
Younger age, so third grade, 4th grade.
What sort of age was that for the uninitiated?
Probably like 7,
Okay.
7, 8.
Yep.
I talked a lot. I got in trouble a little bit, but
you?
as I got older, I was a really good kid.
See,
So
that's where it differs. You and me, good kids. Rob, what can I say?
Right.
No, I was well behaved.
Yeah.
Were
I
you?
was extremely well behaved.
Hang on. Today you were telling a bunch
Apart
of
from-
kids you were
apart-
kicking a football through a glass window.
Well, I did that a couple of times. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did get told off.
Well, aren't you
It's
surprised?
better to do right than it is to do
Wrong.
Yeah. So that was the assembly today.
Yeah.
So growing up,
Yep.
Growing up for you, I mean, was it an easy kind of life? Was it a great life? Because something was different for you, maybe, than for other kids.
Sure. I would say really up until I was 6, everything was pretty good. About 6 years old, my mom was diagnosed with a form of cancer, and that really just kind of turned our world upside down.
Yeah.
So
And so that was a real turning point for you.
definitely.
And what about for yourself? So you've got that going on in your family. What
Yeah.
about yourself? Because for you, life began with a disability.
It did.
So what's your disability?
Yeah. So I was born without. Oh, there's that lovely drawing.
Oh, yes.
From Mila. I was born without fingers on my left hand.
Okay, so you were born like that. So for you, that was fairly normal.
Correct.
I mean, what's the restrictions of not having any fingers or thumbs on one hand?
Like I've learned how to do just about everything. I don't have any.
I've seen you open a
now.
can of Coke with your nut,
Yes,
which is
you have.
actually quite impressive.
Yep.
Because some of us struggle to open a can of Coke with fingers.
I think we need to technically tell the viewers what you mean, because you talk,
Right, so what do you call this?
So this is called what?
So this is called my nub.
So that's what you refer to, isn't it?
Yes, and people refer to me as D Nub.
Derek,
Or
no.
Derek
Nub.
Nub. And that came from university. Back from university, I got that nickname.
Did you find it? Go on.
So when you were younger, so you talked about school, and you were good most of the time in school.
Yeah.
But did that affect you in school as a kid growing up?
Yeah, so I had one or two times where I would say I was bullied. Back then it wasn't super,
Recognized as that.
but I would say more now it's definitely a form of bullying. I was pushed down outside on the basketball court, and the guy kind of pointed at me and said, "Ooh, look at your hand." I still remember it to this day.
Yeah, it logs in the brain.
Oh, it definitely
Were
does.
you bullied as a kid?
Once or twice when
Right.
I was younger.
But were you a big kid? I mean,
No.
as in, big as in,
What are you trying to say?
you know. what I'm
I
trying
was
to say.
so I was slightly overweight.
Right. Okay.
People say I'm slightly overweight now.
Yeah, they don't say slightly. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, mate. Yeah. What happened to me is that all my friends grew up quicker than I did. So I went to secondary school, and they went through puberty before I did.
Yeah.
So my voice didn't break till I was about 16.
Wow.
And so up until that age, I had a very high pitched voice like this, and I was little, almost as little as you. And my friends used to pick on me, and it really upset me.
Yeah.
So I would go home to my mum, because you always go home to your mum, don't you?
You do.
And I'd cry, saying I don't want to go to school. And sometimes I didn't go to school because I was feeling bullied. Yeah. But then it all changed overnight, because I grew about 6 or 7 inches overnight.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
remarkable.
grew out my trousers. I had half mast trousers. Yeah.
Looked like they had an argument with your shoes.
My mum couldn't afford to buy me new trousers. So it looked like I went to school in shorts.
So in my school, all my friends grew up. I just didn't. But in my school, it was 2,500 all boys, and you were either very funny or very fast. And I can't run very fast, and so I used humour to try not to get beaten up every day.
Kids can be really cruel.
And I think now social media. I mean, one of the things that you do now is social media, and you're really involved in tech. How have you seen social media affect people with disabilities?
I think that it's provided a lot of avenues for people like me to find careers, to do things, but also I think it's been used to advocate for people that have disabilities.
So it has its good.
It has
points.
its good and its bad.
Yeah, like everything else in life.
So you're a Christian.
I am.
So how have you dealt with the fact that as a Christian you have this disability? Do you see it as a punishment from God? See, some people say that, you see.
Sure.
Which is totally wrong and totally unscriptural. So how do you see it? Because you've wrestled with this probably all of your Christian life. When did you become a Christian?
I would say it was probably around 10 years old.
10 years old.
So, yep.
So how did you deal with God about your disability? Because there will be folk listening to this who've got disabilities. So
Sure.
very interested in what you got to say.
Sure. I think that one of the things for me has always been my parents have always been overly supportive of me and really trying to provide me every avenue to figure out the best way to do things that work for me.
Yeah.
So honestly, growing up, I would say I don't even know if I even considered myself to have a quote unquote disability.
Yeah.
It's just I do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So there was never for me a point in life where I blamed God for this. It was more of, okay, and two, I think it was because I was born with it versus being born and then having something happen.
Yeah, having something taken away.
Correct. But still, there were times like I didn't know how to tie my shoes until I was 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to button a shirt for a long time.
And those are all little things that I guess most of us would take for granted.
Correct.
Until you meet someone who has that ability in a different way.
Exactly. So yeah, I'd say that.
So you've never had to battle question that with God at all.
Not with that, no.
So I once met, I was doing an evangelistic event in one of the universities in Liverpool, and I once met, this guy came and he was in a wheelchair, and he could tell that he was in pain, and I had a chat with him at the end, and he said, I have had chronic pain in my back for 20 years. And he asked me the question, well, why has God given me that? And it's a difficult answer because his life was hard, because he was telling me this was acute pain that he had to deal with every single day. And all I could say to him is, look, it's your body will let you down, and it's let you down for many, many years, but you're more than your body.
Yep.
It's all about your soul. And one day, if you trust and believe in Jesus, one day, all of that will be gone. You'll be perfect.
I mean, I think that that's obviously the answer. I mean, the difficulty is, and we've talked about this on podcasts before, when people can sound slightly patronising. Yeah. Look, one day you're going to get a new hand. You're going to be able to walk in the same way. Where that's easy for us to say. Yeah. Very easy for us to say. Yeah. I mean, if someone said to you, Derek, look at my life. Look at how things are for me in comparison to everybody else. You know, is God just being unfair? How would you respond to them as somebody who knows what that feels like?
Yeah. I would say I don't think that God is being unfair. I think that unfortunately, I shared this even today with some of the kids in the schools. It's like we live in a fallen world, and this body is not perfect, and God very clearly outlines that when sin came into the world, bad things began to happen. And, I don't think that it's God being unfair. I think that unfortunately bad things happen. Mm. And, the beautiful thing about Jesus is that like he comes to be with us, to live inside of us and walk with us through whatever we go through, whether that's a disability, cancer diagnosis. And, a lot of times we may ask for healing or this or that, but what's more special, I think, is when we ask Jesus to be with us, that he walks with us through that and supplies everything that we need when we need it. Even if we don't get healing on this side of eternity, what's through that is even better.
I think what you're describing is as Paul writes in 2 Corinthians 4, that we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen, because what is seen is temporary.
Absolutely.
And just before that, he said that our flesh does waste away. It's a fact that we're all ultimately going to die, aren't we?
Yeah.
But it's not about our flesh. It's what I said earlier on. It's about our spirit.
Yep.
And if we know Jesus, we're safe. And it's that eternal perspective that gets us all through. Because we may not have disabilities, but we definitely have dark days. And we definitely have days where our mind feels a little bit broken.
Absolutely.
And that's where we need to cling on to the hope that we have in Christ, isn't it?
Do you ever feel that through your disability, you've been given opportunities that you wouldn't have had before? The reason I asked that, again, many years ago, there's a friend of mine and Rob's, who's pastor, whose wife has been in a wheelchair for years and years and years. Yeah. And I remember her being interviewed and being asked that question. And her response just stuck in my mind. And she said, people ask me about being stuck in this wheelchair. And she said, I am in the place where God can use me the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And so she didn't see her wheelchair as the restriction. She, this is where God has positioned me for a purpose. Do you think for you, it's opened kind of doors you weren't expecting?
Yeah, and even in what I get to do, my design work, I do a lot of work for the church, for nonprofits, but any type of creative work. And as I have done that, I've been put in places where I've had to speak with kids or with other adults. And when you walk into a room and you see, as a young child, you see someone that doesn't look like you, your curiosity just says, what is that?
Yeah.
And they have no filter, and that's beautiful. The world hasn't gotten a hold of them yet. And it's like, man, what is that? And what a cool opportunity for me to say, it's a little bit different. And it's like, for me, it's like, it's a little bit different. And this is how, God maybe, made me. This is how and just kind of walk through them.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Psalm 23, which obviously all of us pretty much know, where it talks about being led down certain pathways. For you, this is the path God has led you down.
Absolutely.
But also in Corinthians, it says, I think it's 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians. Nathan will correct me later. With the comfort we have known.
Yeah, we comfort others.
We comfort others.
Sure.
And you've done that with the experience that we have. We comfort others, and we know that just from general ministry. The best person to get alongside another individual is a person who's experienced what they've experienced. So the best person to help out someone with a disability is actually someone with a disability.
Absolutely.
Because you can relate, can't you?
Absolutely.
And God has given you that, and He's given you that opportunity to relate to other people, which is brilliant.
See, one of the other things is because you're quite successful as well, aren't you? Now, you're not going to say that on this podcast. I know you're not. But you are quite successful. You have a business.
I do.
So free advertising to our 1,000+ subscribers. What's the name of your company?
We had 3.
Oh, sorry, 3,000+. We just lost a few. At the beginning, we lost a couple of thousand. So what's the name of your company?
So the name of my company is called D-Nub Design.
D-Nub Design.
Of course it is.
Yep. And so we talked a little bit about this.
Right.
So you do design. What's the biggest design you've ever done?
I was thinking about this the other day, even after
did you?
Trace, and that is probably one of my biggest projects. But back home, we've got these large water towers, and I designed one of the designs for the water tower in Clinton.
And how big are the towers?
They're probably 600-800 feet tall.
Right, so these are big.
So that have they been constructed?
Yes.
Did they leak?
Well, that's not down to me. I only designed the bit on the outside.
I just designed what they painted on it. And that
the
was
leaking had nothing to do with it. So that was your biggest. What do you think was the most interesting design you were ever approached to do? I mean, is that how it worked? Do people come up to you and say, Derek, I want you to design something for this?
Yeah, so I've been in some pretty interesting conversations with some companies back home, but they have come to me and said, we need to come up with sometimes like a water bottle, but it needs to be shaped like a fish.
Of course.
And the head of the fish needs to pop off.
Excellent idea.
And what's the thing that sticks in the water?
Yeah,
straw.
The kind of a straw. Yeah.
Like the fish bobber. I can't think of what it's called.
Fish bobber.
Fish bobber.
This is all.
What's a fish bobber?
Pop out.
That's a float.
A cork. It's a cork. That's it.
cork.
A cork.
Well,
A cork.
So a fish bobber and a cork is the same thing, right? Okay,
Yes.
That's a bit weird. And did you design that?
I did.
And did you get one
I did.
to keep in your?
In my office, yes.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
So I guess it's never held you back, has it?
It has.
And in fact, you've named your business after it,
Yeah,
which is a testimony to the inner strength you actually have in dealing with this. So that is commendable.
So what about the future for you? Do you think? With the business, you're out on mission with the church. We haven't had a chance to talk to you about church, but hopefully we'll get some other guests in at some point to do that.
Yeah.
But what about for you as a Christian going forward? What do you kind of see the future looking like?
Yeah, I think that the future for me is my goal is that my business will still be around for at least another 10 years.
Will it become international? Will you be looking to come into the UK and set up a business here in Shropshire?
For the 7th time.
Hey, I would love that.
Yeah, that would be good.
But I'd like to keep my business up and going for maybe another 10 years. Right. And then slow down, if you will, and travel more, do more mission work. I love the opportunity to come and do stuff like this and to volunteer and help with.
So can I ask you
that's what I'd love to do.
Question as we move towards the end?
Yeah.
What is the most important thing to you in your life?
I would say the most important thing to me is my community of people that I have. I would say back home, but really around the world. Yeah. I've got friends. Everywhere.
And we didn't bring any tissues.
No, don't make the guys cry.
I know,
That's not going to help.
But the the community of people and friends that I have back home and here mean everything.
But you know what that is? That's love.
Yeah,
And that's
100%.
unconditional love.
And that makes such a difference.
It does.
Derek, it's been great having you on here. It really has. And we did tell you that the podcast was fairly laid back.
Yeah.
And you are the first person we've had cry on it, which is interesting.
Yeah, but you know what? The nub.
Yeah.
It works better than a tissue.
I'll tell you what, that's better than a tissue.
It works better than a tissue.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll know exactly what we mean. Yeah. Now, you can get two pastors in a pod on all the devices. You can get it on Spotify, you can get it on YouTube, you can get it on Apple Play, wherever you get your podcasts. I did that this time because you never get it right.
It's out there somewhere.
We love it.
Nathan always puts all the details underneath, so I don't know why you have to say it every time.
But you can get in touch with us if you want to find out a little bit more.
Actually, we've had quite a few emails.
We have.
Nathan has actually remembered to send them to us.
And we're very grateful to those of you who wanted more and said, if it's possible, maybe get me to talk a little bit more, Rob to talk a little bit less.
So hang on, let's do the nub. There you go.
The nub. Oh, look at that.
Great to have you.
Thanks for joining us.